Hi there, I'm Dr. Chung and welcome to your friendly proctologist. In this space we discuss issues around your bottom end and health issues around your bottom end, and in this time I hope that you can relate or learn a thing or two. I wanted to make a short video to answer a very frequently asked question that I get through the emails that I received. And I want to thank all of you for holding an interest in learning more about this topic. But instead of making a huge long video, and doing a whole ton of background and all that stuff, why not just get to the point, right? Kind of like a FAQ. So the question is, how often should I be going number 2? What's normal? Is there something wrong with me? How will I know if I'm okay? And this is, yes, a very concerning question for many people. I get asked this pretty much every single time I see somebody in my office. And so let's get to it, shall we? So many people have differing rhythms in their brains and their nervous system and in their intestinal system. And it's something that is quite personal to each person and individual, because we're all different in our genes and our DNA. So the nerve impulses start from our brain and head down our neck and get to affect or get their input into the entire intestines in our gut, right? All the way down to our anus. This is called the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is in charge of telling the muscles in our intestines to how hard to squeeze, how much, and how often. And these waves of impulses send things down our intestines from our mouth all the way down to our anus. And the digestion will occur the entire time, right? Now, these nerves are not independent. Of course there's many things that can affect them. For instance, the foods that you eat, whether it's a liquid, solid, and its composition, whether it's sugars or fats or protein. And so how do you know then what is going to be healthy for you? Well, I would say that as long as your bowel movements are soft every time you go to do number 2, and you don't have any symptoms or issues eating and keeping your food down, and as the food is going through your intestines, right? So after a meal, are there any problems? Do you feel bloated? Do you feel backed up? Do you feel nauseous after you eat? These kind of things are what kind of will determine whether your body is happy with the way your intestine is digesting things or not. I would say that if you don't have any of those types of symptoms, your bowel movements are soft, then who's to say whether you go 1 time a day or 1 time a week is better? You can look up all people's labs, draw tons of blood and study them, and you'll find that there is no difference between the two people as long as they're both functional and they're both having a proper diet. And so it leads to the question, well, how about 3 times a day or maybe once a month? And these are all relative. You may find someone who even goes once a month to be able to function just fine. It's more likely, however, that they'll have some type of issue, given that if you're eating every day and maybe 3 times a day, 3 meals a day, most likely they might have some issues going on. But in the end, there's always exceptions to every rule, and I won't say that someone who goes 1 time a day definitely needs to come in and see me, right? There isn't anything like that. But someone who goes 3 times a day might have other issues like a raw anus. Because their hemorrhoids hate doing their job, they may have hemorrhoid issues or fissure issues. And so it's not that grass is greener the more times you go. Everybody's different. Again, I just want to emphasize that very clearly, but again, the goal is if you're symptom free and your bowel movements are soft, then I would say that's a general good guideline for you're doing all right. And your body's rhythm, which you were born with, is working well for you. Again, thank you so much for asking the questions and requesting topics. I really appreciate that, and it tells me that you're engaged and that you want to hear more from me, right? And I certainly want to provide that help for you. Once again, blooper. Anyway, if you ever have more questions, please feel free to email me. And please subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you next time on another video. Take care. Bye-bye.